Hi everybody. I wanted to do a video on something that I was struggling with a while back, which was sleep. I mentioned many times in some of the videos that I would take melatonin every night. Ever since I had kids, I don't sleep through the night. I'm not a heavy sleeper anymore. My sleep quality just wasn't very good. I'd lay in bed for hours sometimes before I'd fall asleep. The things I wanted to share that helped me were the Celtic salt. I do this 2 to 3 times a day on my tongue, let it dissolve, and then I'll drink like a half a cup of water as a minimum with it, and then throughout the day I'll make sure I hydrate more than that. But when I actually put it on my tongue and take it, I usually take about half a cup of water with it after I let it dissolve in my tongue. I think it had a lot to do with the magnesium that's in it. It's got 3 different kinds of magnesium in it, which magnesium helps with sleep. So that and the castor oil pulling I started doing to my belly button. I've mentioned that quite a few times. Organic, unrefined, hexane free, all of that good stuff. Those 2 things were the main things that I've seen here in the past couple of months that have really improved my sleep. Like, I completely stopped taking the melatonin within 2 weeks, I want to say, a week and a half of doing those 2 things. I wasn't taking melatonin at all anymore, and I don't have a problem falling asleep. I sleep all the way through the night. Majority of the time my sleep is way better than it was. I wake up and I feel rested, more rested than I did when I was taking the melatonin. So those 2 things have helped me. Other things that I know that have helped me or my kids at times are diffusing the lavender essential oils at night. It's really soothing. That helps. Another thing would be trying to get 8 hours of sleep a night. That's not always a 100% thing, but even if I'm getting 6 or 7, with doing these 2 main things along with the others, I still feel rested. Before, if I got less than 8 hours of sleep, I was dragging. Didn't want to get out of bed, hit my alarm multiple times. When I did get out of bed, I just felt exhausted. So try to get 8 hours sleep, or as close to that as you can. Like I said, every night I don't get 8 hours, but I'm pretty consistent with around 7, sometimes 6, but when I do get 8 hours, I feel much better. Hydrating throughout the day. That's been helpful. I'm really bad about drinking water. I'm really bad about drinking at all. I mean, a whole cup would last me all day long. So I'm trying to be more mindful of how much water that I put into my body, and that has helped, along with taking the Celtic salt, because that will help it not just flush straight through me. Trying to eat at least 3 hours before bed. If I give my body, and it's been done in research, if you give your body at least 3 hours after a meal before you go to sleep, it's had plenty of time to do what it needs to do, and it's not overworking throughout the night when your body is supposed to be resting. So you get better sleep because you've given it that time period to digest the food and do what it needs to do. This doesn't always happen, but it does help. I've noticed a difference. 30 minutes before bed, try to stay off the electronics, whether that's the TV, iPad, your phone. Again, I'm not always good at that, but I do know that it does help me to fall asleep better instead of just all of that blue light and all the things running through my head that I was looking at on the phone. It does help me just go to sleep quicker, but I'm not as consistent with that. And the last one would be no caffeine. This is a hard one for me. I love sweet tea, and thanks to my husband, I like frappuccinos, blended coffees. I don't get those every day, but those are probably my 2 really big flaws that I haven't seemed to get away from. I do drink less tea. I try not to drink it unless we go out to eat, but coffees are a little bit harder. But these are all things that they will help with your sleep and your rest if you can stick to them. And I just thought I'd share.